There's an exercise that I like to do myself and give people, and it's about finding the good light and shooting whatever's in it. So my 30-second little presentation on that would be, far too often we see photographers struggle trying to find a good subject, and they settle for whatever light that subject's in, and they come up with mediocre photo of a very good subject. If you think of all the photos you saw tonight that really made people ooh and ah, and quite literally right in front of us is the picture of Wayne's lamp. Look at the difference of the lamp on the right versus the one on the left, right? When we were talking about the one on the right, that's fantastic craftsmanship. But when it jumped to boom, here you go, it's like, wow, look at how different that is. It's not the subject, it's the light. Okay,
Yes.
so here is the deal. The subject or what you're trying to shoot is going to be the light, right? The light itself. If you get a good subject, that's fine. So this is a picture of my backyard at that just getting near golden hour time of day, right? So what you want to do is just look around your house, outside, inside, find good light and shoot whatever's in it. So for example, here is some moss, right? You go find that patch of orange light and you shoot what's in there. Here is a leaf hanging, from the tree there. It was on a spider web twirling around, and obviously the light beams in the back, right? Anywhere else, that's not much to look at, but there you go. So this is just a picture of the window, kind of, looking at the light going on here and what it's hitting in the shop. My shop is not nearly as nice as Wayne's, but this is not the important part. This is the important part that we're looking for, right? Chairs look great in good light compared to how they look at noon, right? In the kitchen, right? The little pepper mill looks fantastic in the good light. And you can sort of go through why that is, the contrast, the sort of color, the reflections, all that is the light. It has nothing to do with the subject. There's the fridge, right? Things stand out. They're a little more 3D because you hit in the light. There's the top of the fridge, right? The spider webs, the whatnot, they look great. They look like little lightning strikes in the right light. So here is just out near the fence. There's a little hole in the fence on the sunward side. So there was, just a tiny little dot of light coming through that fence. So you can kind of see the theme here. You just chase around your yard, you look for things in good light and take a picture of whatever that is, right? Whatever that happens to be. Find your shadows, find your golden light, right? Even weeds and whatnot in the right light. Look for places where the light has very hard angles, very specific things to, check out in it. Even rusty, tomato stands or something in the right light become interesting with that 3D effect. So that would be my suggestion for a way to keep yourself sane when you're want something to do that doesn't take a lot of thought, but it will help train your eye for what makes good light. So when you get a nice subject, you can take that subject and put it in the good light. I mean, here I get it twice a day, right? Around sunrise and sunset. Your house may vary. Like I believe it was Sandra and also Karen. They both had photos where it was window light. You can get that at noon as long as the sun is not shining in through that window, right? You're getting that indirect, well lit room. Um, so I would, just look around. That's the other part of this task or this exercise is look for the good light, right? Don't look for good subjects, look for the good light. But as a refresher, when you go out there, remember things like intensity, brightness, and ratio, right? So look for that good light and think about those little things like the difference between this picture on the left and right. I mean, this is the moon, that's the sun, but the exposure is the same, right? That intensity and ratio can be very different. The same, a little fire, a lot of fire, but you can use that. Direction, shadows, right? Directional light and shadows, that's what creates the depth. That's why we liked Sandra's picture of the purple flowers, and how you talked about the speckled light effect, right? And that's why we liked Wayne's light, and all those other pictures I heard people say ooh about. It was the depth that you liked, right? That was the thing. So pay attention to how the angle of light and those shadows, the lack of light, that's what makes a photo really pop off for you, right? The difference between shooting our mountains at noon versus shooting our mountains, around sunset, is simply the depth. The size of the light source, right? That's a relative thing, small, medium, large. This is a flash and an umbrella. When you move the flash towards the camera, it's the same size, right? And what that does is it changes your quality of your light, right? So look for those hard shadow edges, those soft shadow edges. And remember that the size of your light and the distance away, changing that light, really changes the type of shadows that you get from that. Right? So as you are walking around your house looking at things, pay attention to the light.